So Nintendo recently held their general meeting of the shareholders where it all came together. They voted for the new Nintendo president. And of course, Tatsumi Kimishima was kind of on the way out, right? He pretty much bridged the gap till they found their new president, which they have now. And they're pretty much rolling forward from there. And there were a lot of questions asked at this briefing, at this General Assembly. Other than voting, they did, of course, talk about the future of Nintendo and what's been going on. They asked about the stock decline that was pretty obvious and kind of an elephant in the room at the time when they were having this whole presentation and talk and everything, and someone did at least ask. But Kimishima was definitely asked about the stock and asked about the E3 presentation, because a lot of the people there kind of figured that the E3 presentation was an issue, and that's kind of one of the reasons that the stock dropped. I mean, it's not too hard to believe that, obviously, since a lot of people were expecting a lot of stuff after the first year of the Switch, which, I mean, if you look at that, that was a very impressive first year for any system, let alone just the Switch. So here we are now wondering about what's coming up, and it looks like, yes, there is more stuff that's getting announced, shocking no one, right? I mean, who's really shocked about that? We assume a Direct is coming up later on this year. I actually think it might be before the online service launches. I think that's a good idea to have that out, talk about the online service, and then maybe talk about a few other games and stuff that are coming up, since you'd probably want to have it in September if you're going to talk about games for 2018, maybe even August, to be honest. And then you cap it off with a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate new character reveal, and then you finish up and everything. So what did Kimishima say at this General Assembly? Well, there was a transcript that was provided, and well, he talks a bit about their plans. Specifically, he explained that the company is preparing to disclose more information to the customers at an appropriate timing, including products that will be launched during the year-end shopping battle. So it's not yet time to announce the full lineup, is what he said. And then he kind of listed some games to be released before the end of the fiscal year, mentioning that it's a powerful lineup, and they're aiming to maintain and expand the momentum of the Switch towards the end of the year for this big shopping battle, of course, that always takes place in November and December when everyone's rushing out to buy the latest, greatest electronic. So, no, if you were wondering, is that everything? No, there is more. In fact, there are a lot of people who've probably heard of some games that were surprised. There was a few games that I, and I'm sure others have heard of as well, and there was one in particular that I was surprised wasn't at E3, and I have a feeling it'll probably be at this Direct, and it'll probably be a game that they announce, then it comes out like a month or two later. It's not like a big game, but still, that's one of the reasons I was surprised, and I guess they really just wanted to hold more stuff off for their own terms, on their own terms, you say, on their own Direct and everything. So I guess get excited about more releases, more announcements. The Star Fox is the game I'd like to hear about, but I don't even know if we're going to hear about it at the end of the I guess, fall Direct. Maybe that really is something they'll tell us about in 2019, or just Retro Studios in general, but maybe we'll have to wait for next year for that. I would expect smaller titles, some from Nintendo, some from third parties, to get announced at this Direct, and just kind of bolster that lineup, because they have their big ones. They have Smash, and they have Pokemon. You need some of the small, like think of Mario Party, right? We saw that. Think of games along that size, right? Like that AA games, I guess they'd call them. They don't want anything to overshadow Smash with how much time they put into it, or even Pokemon. So think about that, mid-range games. But guys, let me know what you think about that. All of this down below in the comments. I'm really curious what you think would be announced at this Direct that they've pretty much told us is happening. We all pretty much know it's happening, obviously, though. One for the online service, more games, Smash Bros. Character, finish, right? And then just roll into the holiday season. I think it'd be really cool to see that. Guys, make sure you like this video. If you liked it, dislike it. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time for Newswave.